Hello everyone, this is Mr. Blegan and I'm going to be sharing with you today a little bit of math without silly hats, and that CM Tobian and myself are going to be modeling a lesson that we're going to teach through Screencastify so that you can do that for Teach Back Thursdays. We're going to alternate who teaches, which you'll likely be doing in a breakout room, using whiteboard.fi as well as the Desmos graphing calculator that you'll have on your state tests. So it's important to know that in our breakout room, we can use the chat feature. That way, if we need to share links with each other or some other information, we can do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at our assignments. So for Teach Back Thursday, I need to teach a topic that I learned in Alex to a member of my household, or here, a classmate online, and record it with Screencastify. Now, Screencastify, if you've installed, you can just click this little recorder and you'll notice that I'm actively recording, so I'm not going to be able to start that recording, but the video should be 2 to 5 minutes in length. Yours will cut off at 5 minutes, and you can earn up to 30 points out of 10. Now, there's 3 links here. If you haven't installed Screencastify, this link will take you to the page to add it through the Google Chrome Web Store. So if you have not yet added Screencastify, you'll click the link here that'll say add to, or add the extension to Chrome, and it'll show up under your extensions. So you'll have Screencastify. If for whatever reason it isn't working for you, Loom will also do the same job, but it's a slightly different interface. Once you have Screencastify, we're going to open one of these 2 resources. I'm going to start with whiteboard.fi and teach CM Toby an Alex topic with whiteboard.fi. So I'll click this link and it'll open this site. I would like to create a new class because I'm going to have this class just for myself and CM Toby. So this will be CM Toby and Mr. B. That way he knows he's in the right class. So let's create that class. You'll notice there's a lot of things going on here. Well, the first thing I need to do is share this with CM Toby. So he can get in this by sharing this link. Let's copy that, go back into Zoom, and in the chat, I'm going to paste that link. That way CM Toby, hopefully, can you see that, CM Toby? Excellent. He can click that link, and once he does, I'll have students in my whiteboard. So I'm going to turn on my whiteboard by toggling my whiteboard on. Once CM Toby has joined my classroom, his whiteboard will appear as well as mine. So you'll see CM Toby pops up here, and I can see his whiteboard. So if I click this whiteboard, I can actually push the teacher whiteboard to the student. So whatever I'm doing, I can make sure he sees it, or I could put that behind what he's doing so that he maintains his work, but I can put all of my work behind it so he can see maybe my instructions or my example problem as he goes to do an example problem on his own. So let's test this out. CM Toby, I'm going to plan on teaching you how to combine like terms in an equation. Are you familiar with that? And it's okay if you aren't because it's been a while. Okay, perfect, because I just learned that in Alex, so I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to go back over to Whiteboard, and what I'm going to do is I can either type manually in this text box. So let's say I'm trying to combine 4x and 2x, but I think an easier way to do that is with this formulas button. So rather than creating a text box, what I can do is use this formulas button, and if I want us to combine 2x plus 4 minus 3x plus 10, I'm going to insert that math. And you'll see I have an equation here. So what I can do is I can click his, and I can push teacher whiteboard to student, so that now he can see what I have. Can you see what I have, CM Toby? Yeah. Excellent. Now I need to explain the topic. Combining like terms means we're going to look at different terms or different values in an equation or expression. I have an expression written here. In other words, don't have an equal sign to make it an equation to keep things simple, since we're going to focus on just the topic rather than complex math. I can use my other tools here to maybe emphasize what's going on. So I would like to identify first which terms are like. Pretend these were blueberries and dollars. If I added 2 blueberries to $4, subtracted 3 blueberries, and added $10, I wouldn't have some number of dollar blueberries. Those are 2 very different things. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do when combining like terms is identify the different types of terms. This 2x is a term with x in it, so I'm going to circle my x's. This negative 3x is a term with an x in it. And you'll notice that I circled this negative sign because our signs live to the left of whatever number or term is being associated with that sign. Then I'm going to box my numbers. my constants. So 10 is a constant, it does not have a variable. 4 is a constant that does not have a variable. My next step is going to be to combine like terms. So I'm going to take my 2x and my negative 3x, as well as my 4 and my 10. Because these are like terms, and I have circles and squares to remind myself that those are like terms, those can combine. So 2x and negative 3x can combine to negative 1x, because 2 minus 3 is negative 1, and we're dealing with x's. Then we can combine our constants. 4 and 10 are both positive, and they're both constants, so those can combine to 14. Insert that math so he can now see my next line of work. So I've combined my x's to negative 1x, because 2 of something minus 3 of something leaves us in debt 1 of that same thing. And this is a term that's a variable. So I circle it. Finally, my constants are like terms, they can combine. 4 and 10 combine to 14, and that's a constant, so I'm going to box it. These are not like terms, so they cannot combine, and we are done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up a little bit so CM Toby has some room to work, because he's going to be using this whiteboard that I've already made. So let me just make this a little bit more compact so he can do an example problem and confirm that he's learned this skill. So CM Toby, I'm going to write a different expression. So let's say 3y plus 2 minus 1y plus 12. I would like you to combine the like terms that I'm sharing with you now. So I'm going to action, push the teacher whiteboard to CM Toby. So he now sees my work and then his assignment. So CM Toby, I'd like you to first start by circling all your terms that have variables in them. And then you're going to box your constants when you're done with that. No, I can see what you're doing, CM Toby. So the teacher can see all their students working, but the teacher has to push their work out to the students. Go ahead and combine your terms. You can use the equation tool, which is the bottom right tool that kind of looks like a square root sign with an X inside of it. And you can use that to write an equation. All right, perfect. So CM Toby has combined 3y and negative 1y to make a positive 2y, and positive 2 and positive 12 makes positive 14. Excellent work. Thank you so much. And once you're done, you can click this red Screencastify icon to stop your recording. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording and start a new one for CM Toby to teach me with Desmos Graphing Calculator.